Welcome back. I am your host, Lindsay Wolf, and this is High Vibes, Low Tolerance. It has been a minute, you guys. Oh my gosh. I my last episode that I published was on September 11th, which feels like a lifetime ago. And I really did not mean to leave any of you hanging, but I did. And the reason for that is I'm going to get into. I want to get into all of it. I actually want to talk a lot about that on the podcast today, but I'm here now and I am excited to be back. We did a little logo change. So let me know what you think about that. I had my friend Zoe, who's just this amazing editor, like person with video and graphics and sound. And like, she just does everything like videography. And she did it for me. So shout out Zoe. She also is the one responsible for the High Vibes Low Tolerance intro and outro and the little song that plays. So thank you, Zoe, for the new branding. When it had switched over from being a co-host situation to being a solo host situation, I like quickly made one up on Canva just as like a placeholder because I wanted it to be refreshed. I needed it to be new. And it was okay, but Zoe's is better. So I hope you guys like it. Let me know what you think. And I will also be periodically, I think I have my sound dialed in. What do you guys think the last episode? While it was a bit ago, I feel like I dialed in the sound and I feel like I have it dialed in today. But this mic, sometimes I bump it off. And until I have like a whole studio setup space where I'm not even holding the microphone, it's just like there for me. I have to check and see. So if you're watching this on video and you see me look down a lot at my mic, that's what I'm doing. Okay. So how is everybody? Wow, wow, wow. So much has happened since I last recorded, not just in my world, but the world. Are you guys okay? I was not okay. And I'm still like, definitely not okay. Okay is such like a weird thing because I forget there's a term for it. I saw it recently on, I don't know, somewhere on my phone. And it was talking about how like we're not okay, but yet we still wake up and do our mundane things, like go to the store, go to work, like work out even, like eat our little food. And like the world is so crazy. And it's like this, like a hyper normalization of what is going on around us. And I really be feeling that lately. So after I recorded last time, uh, there was another school shooting, which is so, so sad. And while I wish that that was the main thing that was on top of everybody's, you know, reaction list, it wasn't. It was the murder of this guy that had a microphone sometimes. And people got really, really worked up about that. Now, did I get worked up about that? No. Do you want to know why? Okay. When I heard the news, my daughter first, she texted me. She was like, so and so is shot. And I was like, oh. And I had to Google it and see who it was. And then I saw who it was and I was like, oh, that guy. Huh. Like, did anybody really know who he was except for like a like diehard group of his followers? Like, did we really know who he was? I don't really think so. I guess some people did, but I feel like a lot of people really knew who he was once he was shot and then passed away. I don't think that I or anyone really ever needs to say, of course, somebody shouldn't be murdered. before they state their opinion, unless they're like a psycho. Like, of course, someone shouldn't be murdered. That sucks. No one should be murdered. No one who is single should be murdered. No one who has children should be murdered. No one who is any color should ever be murdered. I think we're all pretty much on the same page about that, but who knows? We're pretty divided these days. I don't feel the need to say that every time I voice an opinion that I'm like, well, this guy died. And from what I can tell, he was like not very cool, nor very kind, nor very accepting, nor anybody that I would ever want influencing me or my family or my friends or my world or in my space or even sitting in front of me. So he died, and I was like, well. And then I started looking more into what he actually said. And then I was like, oh, wow, like a bad person was murdered. And that's how I felt. And that's how I still feel. The result and reaction and outcome and all of that that came afterwards was something I was not prepared for. B, very, very triggering. And I think a lot of you can probably relate. I was flooded on my social media for probably 2 weeks, maybe a week and a half after that happened. And it was just constant. And part of it is definitely my fault because I wanted to see what this dude was about. I wanted to see why people were so upset. I started seeing my family posting a lot about it. And let me just tell you this about my family. A little history on my upbringing / childhood. I am the oldest child. My mom and dad had myself and my two brothers, and we are each 3 years apart. When I was 6 years old, my dad died in a tragic, horrible horse riding accident. So, so wonderful, right? That then I get this child who is obsessed with horses. It's one of the curses and like unique twists of fate that the universe has dealt me, but I digress. So my dad passed away. I was 6. My brother Nathan was 3. My brother Luke was his baby. So fast forward to my mom remarrying to right after I turned 12 years old. And she married someone who she is still married to. And he had 6 children, 6 children that he had full custody of. Now, at the time, I was under the impression that his ex-wife was crazy. That's what everybody said. She was crazy. And now that I'm an adult and I can look back on my childhood with a more comprehensive scope, I feel so bad for that woman because for sure he made her crazy if she was crazy at all. And any behavioral things that she might have had on her own, I promise you they were not made any better. They were only made worse by her husband. Actually, my mom started seeing this guy when he was still married and he had 6 kids. They get a divorce. They met at church, by the way. Isn't that cute? Paul, his 6 kids now move into our house with my mom and my 2 brothers. So I went from being the oldest of 3 to the oldest of 9. My mom and her husband then had my half sister, Reagan, who I love very, very much. I love you, Reagan. And then it made me the oldest out of 10. So I had always been brought up in the church. My parents went to an Assembly of God church and they were active in the church. And those memories I have of being at church are all very positive. I also was a very young child, but when I was being brought up in the Assembly of God church, I have a lot of my like earliest memories and earliest friendships and even my mom's friends at that time, like we knew them from church. So I have positive memories from that time. Now, after my mom married her current husband, we switched churches. And from what I can tell, he didn't like being a part of that church because it was tied to so many memories of my dad. And my dad was deeply loved. He was a friend to many, an ally to many. He was the life of the party. He was adventurous and an amazing father and so funny, loved my mom's family. And he just had a lot of friends because he cultivated love and kindness wherever he went. My mom's current husband is pretty much the opposite of that, but he's also a fundamental, like, evangelical, hardcore Christian dude. He grew up on a farm. Very soon after my mom and him got married, I started to see how the church was being used as the only law to go by. It was the only way that you live your life is through Jesus, Christianity, the Lord, amen, but like to an extreme. And I started to question it a lot. I really didn't feel comfortable. I was afraid of my stepdad. I still am. I think he's a horrible person. But the point is, I remember one time he called a family meeting with all of us 10 kids into the living room. And something he would like to do is he was super abusive, very verbally abusive, physically abusive, and he had his favorites. He really hated me and my brother Nathan. He would feel bad and feel guilty after he would go on a rant, a rampage, be hurtful, be abusive, lock somebody in the basement. And he would call a family meeting and bring everybody together and talk about Jesus's love for us. And he would cry. And it was pretty par for the course. And it always made me extremely uncomfortable. Like, as a kid, you're just like, what is going on? But I was also older than any of my siblings, and I saw a lot that they did not see. And I remember a lot that they do not remember. And I also was getting the brunt of it. I remember one of those family meetings, just to give you guys a taste on how conservative my family is and the environment I was brought up in. Paul, my mom's husband, said that if someone were to go and blow up a Planned Parenthood, that would be God's will, that they would be favored for doing that because abortion is so wrong. So if you ask my family about any of their political opinions, stances, just wherever, they're always going to go with the person who does not believe in abortion. They do not consider it healthcare. They consider it murder. So all that to say, they really loved our dude, CK. Okay. They also love our other dude in orange with the red hat. Okay. Love him, love him, love him. So we be seeing things differently. I probably have given my family the most run of the mill bits of information on like how far different I could be from them. Every few years. First, I'm not Christian. That's not what I believe. I move as far away as I possibly can. I get pregnant without being married. I'm not with the dad anymore. Then I come out as gay. Then I marry a woman. Then I get divorced. Now I'm living in sin in LA. So when all of this happened, I started seeing a lot of stuff from my step siblings and my mom and my aunt, even like just different family members that are so woven into this very conservative evangelical type of Christianity. And it's woven so closely into politics. And I saw a lot of stuff being posted that was not resonating with me. It was bringing up a lot of my trauma from childhood, which it always does, but I'm able to keep it kind of in one place. But then when all this happened, it was like so fast and all at once. And it was really hard to ignore. And I actually ended up removing my mom, a couple of my like step-sister-in-laws, my stepsister, and just a bunch of people who were spreading a lot of rhetoric that I just don't agree with. I have always tried to be the person where it's like, it's okay if we don't agree. I actually like that we might have something that we don't agree on, But for me, where things are in the world now, it goes far beyond like disagreements or varying views on politics because it's not politics. Politics is like, how much should our taxes be with our healthcare rates and the cost of education and why the roads are closed at certain times when we pay this much and whatever, right? It is not basic human rights. It is not blatant racism. It is not anti women. So it had to be done a clean break. And I'm going through the feelings of knowing that that was a correct choice for me, but also feeling really guilty. I have been no contact with my mom for a few months. And I go through these phases where I go no contact with her and then we come back around and I will connect with her because I feel guilty. But then there's another major betrayal or another major setback. And it causes me to, again, go no contact. And I've been no contact. And I've been feeling guilty about that when I know that I shouldn't. What makes it really hard is that that's the last thing I want. For me, the no contact is almost just a way to like survive and get through my own life and this time that I find very scary. It's has nothing to do with how much I love her or how much I love my family. That's been something that I have been dealing with since I last recorded. So thank you for just listening to my whole therapy session right there. Like, I feel like it's important for you guys to know where I'm coming from when I speak on certain things. So I didn't really expect to say all of that, but I'm glad I did. So, with being dipped out for the last 3 weeks and not recording, it's because of that. And I've been dealing with so much of my own emotional baggage and my guilt and my shame and my do I have a responsibility here to keep these connections going, or is it best for me and most healthy for me to sever those connections so I am okay? And I actually don't really know the full answer. I think it's healthy and I'm doing the healthy thing that I am right now, but I still feel bad. And I wish that I didn't feel bad because it makes it so much harder. I think we all kind of have these defense mechanisms. Like, I do this thing where when I am feeling overwhelmed, unsafe, stressed out, just like to the max, I cocoon and I go into a cave. And I literally will do it like in my apartment. Like, typically love light and like bright sun and everything like that in my apartment. But if I am going through it, every window is drawn, every door is closed, no blinds are cracked open, like nothing. I truly go into a cave. And it's a way of protecting myself and shutting the world out. But then what I am realizing and have realized before through therapy, but I'm realizing this is like very much still a behavior that I have, is that it almost turns into a self sabotage thing because then I keep doing it out of like thinking that I'm protecting myself, which I am, but then it goes on a little too long. And then I don't stay on top of the things I need to do or want to do. Like, I'm not taking care of myself in other ways, like eating right or going to the gym or getting fresh air, spending time with people I love. My podcast, these last 3 weeks have been like quite a lesson for me in reflection on my own behaviors. I think we all have these masks that we wear that we put on to either make ourselves feel okay or let other people know that we are okay. And really, things are often not okay. And that's where I've been. Mental health wise, I haven't really been struggling, but it's more so just like emotional and like these internal feelings like that have been triggered from my childhood and where we are politically right now and the just all of that. All of that. We all have those deep, deep wounds. And I'm trying to figure out how I allow those to have space and acknowledge them and take care of myself in the ways that I know I need to, along with not self-sabotaging myself in the process. So that's why I haven't recorded in a few weeks. But here I am. I'm back and doing better. And I am out of my cocoon. I'm out of my cave. And I was so excited to record today. And I also have plans with a friend tonight. And we're going to go out. And I'm just so excited to feel like myself. I really do feel like myself again. And I'm so grateful for that. If you guys are going through it, which I know some of you are because I be talking to all of you because I do hair. And I just got back from Portland and I was in Portland for a week doing hair there. And I see a lot of people who I've known for years, like almost 10 years. I've been doing some of these clients' hair, most of them anywhere from 8 to 10 years. That's how long. And so we know each other very well. And we've been talking about so much of this stuff that's been happening. And a lot of people are fed up and scared and tired and exhausted and just trying to do the best that they can. So keep trying to do the best that you can. That kind of brings me to the other thing I wanted to talk about. If you know me at all, you know I love my boy Justin Bieber. And Justin Bieber has named this year as the year of standing on business at the beach. And I really feel that I have definitely been standing on business. As you guys know, my last, it was my first solo episode, a couple episodes back that I talked about friendships and friendship breakups. Definitely had to stand on business there. I actually did a tarot reading for myself last night and I wanted to just kind of look forward to what is happening between right now towards the end of the year. And the Two of Swords came up a couple different times. And if you guys know anything about tarot, the Two of Swords represents a choice and indifference, possibly, but it also, depending on what your reading is for, it represents you needing to make a choice. And that resonated with me as well because it's the season of standing on business. And I would encourage you guys to just stand on business in whatever way that looks like for you. There is so much change happening around us so fast, and people are so divided. And I don't think it's healthy to stay in any patterns where you feel stuck or where you feel not valued or anything like that. You really just have to advocate for yourself, and it will feed your soul and fulfill you in ways that you might not be being fulfilled at the time. I was speaking to one of my clients and she recently did not get a job promotion she was really hoping for, and not just hoping for, very, very much deserved. And the boss told her she didn't think she was ready. And she's beyond ready for all of these different reasons and factors and very experienced. And it was like a total slap in the face for her. And so I was talking to that client about it, and she was just telling me how she's going to get back to her passion projects, the things that bring her joy and the things that are more emotionally and spiritually fulfilling for her and not her corporate job. She worked so hard there and she absolutely deserved to get that promotion. But it was the thing where she left that conversation, did not feel valued, did not feel appreciated. There's just a lot of that going on. And whether it's in your relationships, in your job, in your day-to-day life, just try to be around people and situations that are shifting you towards light and not a feeling of being stuck or in the dark or devalued or unfulfilled. Because it is no way to live, you guys. It really isn't. I have this as my life, my podcast, my friends, my cute sunny apartment and palm trees and my daughter and just everything that I love. And it really brings me so much joy. And I really do believe it is that simple. I just feel like I should try to be encouraging. Like Glinda. Have you guys seen the final trailer for Wicked? I'm getting so excited. Oh my gosh. She's like I'm a person, I'm a public figure now to Alphaba. That's what Glinda's saying. And she's like, people expect me to be encouraging. Maybe that's what I'm like Glinda, you guys. Glinda the good. Being encouraging. So I encourage you to protect your peace, stand on business, and get ready for the next episode because I have guests lined up and I've been having them lined up and then I had a little bit of my emotional crisis. But I'm really excited to get back into the weekly schedule of HVLT. Let me know what you guys think and drop how you're feeling in the comments. DM me. I'm going to try to get back onto a social media schedule so I can connect with you guys more and not even just try to. Like, it goes back to what I was saying at the beginning. Like, I really want this podcast to be successful and I really want to invest my time in it. I don't want to just have a social media schedule so I connect with you. I will have it and I'm going to have it and I should have it, but it's coming. Okay. And I'm going to connect with you and the podcast is going to blow up. And then you're going to be like, oh my God, I was one of the first 12 followers. And it's going to be so cool. Okay. I have to get ready because I need a tan. I need to go get a tan. I come back from Portland and I feel pale as hell. And I have one of my best friends from Ohio coming to visit mid-October. Then it's Halloween. I have another friend from Ohio who's going to be staying with me. And I need to look good because we're going to be going out and doing stuff. Also, I'm going to Jamie Foxx's for Halloween and I don't have my Halloween costume picked out yet. OMG, what am I going to do? But I will be tan and I will look hot. So I'm going to go tan. And then I have a date with my work husband, and we're going to the Grove, and we're going to go get a cute little snack and a cute little cocktail. And then we're going to go see the Conjuring movie, which I will tell you guys next week how it was. Conjuring is my favorite scary movie series, even though actually Conjuring is like the best one. The rest of the movies are like pretty good, but this one I think is going to be major. So I'm excited about that. So I will leave you with, I think, high vibes. High vibes. Overall, we're back. We're vibing high. We have 0 to low tolerance for whatever makes you not stand on business. So everybody stand on business at the beach, like our boy Justin Bieber. And I thank you so much for listening. I will see you next week. Bye.